The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Today we are talking about the 5 signs that show you are not ready to be in a relationship. But please note that this works for those who are single, obviously, but also works for those who are already in a relationship, but they may not be ready. It can be a deal breaker. Maybe you are even married and you are showing these signs. This can be dangerous. So, with no further delay, let's go for the signs. Sign number 1. Look at this. Sign number 1. You are not yet over your previous relationships. Look at this. You are not yet over your previous relationships. So, look at this. The sign number 1 that you're not ready for a relationship is that you're not over. Meaning that you didn't forgive. Remember what we spoke yesterday. You still hold grudges. You are not over in the sense that you didn't learn your lessons. You didn't learn from your mistakes. The mistakes you made. How many people they carry the hurts, the grudges into a new relationship. Many people, they get married, they divorce, only to get divorced again because it seems like they never learned their lesson. So for a person to be in a relationship, to be ready for a new relationship, you need to be over. Whatever is your past, whatever happened, you need to forgive, you need to let go, you need to work in yourself and start over. Only this way you can find happiness. You can be blessed indeed. So let's go to sign number 2. Sign number 2. You have character flaws. Look at this. You have character flaws. You know, everyone, when they look for a person to have a relationship with, to date, when you come to God with those the big list full of qualities, you ask for the best. You want a man of God, you want a woman of God. But what happens if you yourself, you are full of flaws? You are full of defects. You are full of problems, full of issues. What happened? What happened that? What happens then? So God, what's going to happen is God cannot entrust you with a man of God, a woman of God, because you have these character flaws. Also in a marriage, in a relationship, in a dating, sooner or later, these character flaws will show and will cause problems in your relationship, will cause problems in your marriage. So let's go for sign number 3. Sign number 3 says, you have addictions. You have addictions or vices or bad habits. You know, all these things will compete with your relationship. Whether you're married, whether you are looking for someone, an addiction is always an issue. Addictions always come on the way, bad habits. So if you find yourself in this place, you have addictions, deal with that. Deal with that. Get rid of that. Look for help, and we are here to help you. We are here to help you. If you need our help, let us know. We are here to help you. Sign number 4. Let me see here. You have an unresolved trauma. So you carry these complexes, these traumas from childhood, from a past experience. You're traumatized in a sense that you always think that the same is going to happen to you. You're always on the defense. You don't open up. You're afraid that the same thing is going to happen to you. So also, this needs to be dealt with. You need to be free from this. You need to be healed. And you know, the best way for you to be healed, to get rid of a trauma, to get rid of these complexes, this low self-esteem, all these insecurities that you carry, is to see yourself through the eyes of God. When you receive the Holy Spirit, the baptism in the Holy Spirit, when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, He lets you see yourself through His eyes. So you're not insecure anymore. You're not fearful. You're not always on the defense. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone. All those things that you are not loved, all those things that you heard, all the abuse, all the traumas, whatever happened to you, it doesn't matter anymore because you know you're loved. God, He assures you that you are His, that you are loved, that you are His child. So all these things that happen doesn't matter anymore. It's not an issue anymore. You know, many people, they suffer in relationships because they had issues with their parents. They were not loved. They were rejected, despised. They lacked attention. And when they enter in a relationship, they suffocate the partner. They suffocate the person because they want to have everything they never had. But the person obviously will not be able to deliver all that demand. And it's going to be a big deception, a big disappointment. So let God fill you first. Let God, the Holy Spirit comes and you're going to see your relationship improving, your marriage. And you certainly will be ready for a relationship. Let's go for the last sign. Sign number 5, the 5th one. You do not want commitment. This is something very, very true. You don't want commitment. You know, many singles, they want the comfort of a marriage, but they don't want to commit. They don't want to lose the life of a single person. They don't want to sacrifice the rights that they have, the freedom, not you don't need to give a satisfaction to someone of what you do, what time you get at home, where you are, who you're with. They don't want to sacrifice these things. So you need to know that a marriage takes work to build. It's not something that happens from night to day. It's sacrifice. You sacrifice every single day. Are you ready for that? Do you understand the cost of a marriage? Do you understand that marriage is forever? That once you make a vow on the altar, you need to be faithful to those words. No matter what happens, no matter how hard it is, how difficult it becomes, are you ready to make this vow? To make this commitment? To make this promise and fulfill the promise? That's the question. Many people, they don't want to commit. Also, you who are married, you made a promise on the altar. A promise before God. Or even there in the registry, you signed, you got married. You made a promise, even verbally, to be with the person. No, we're going to live together. We're going to be happy. You made a promise. And you need to commit yourself to the promise, to those words. You need to be faithful to that. No matter what happens, you need to be faithful. God, He values marriage. God, He loves someone who keeps their word. God is faithful to His promises, to His words, and He expects us to be the same. So in order for you to be happy in a relationship, ready for a new relationship, you need to understand this. And if you have someone, you need to fulfill this commitment. No, one day I made my wife leave her house, the house of her father, to live with me. One day I promised her the moon and the stars. One day I took her from her parents' house. We decided to join, to live together, to get married. I made a vow before my family members, my friends, before God. And I'm going to be faithful to that. I'm going to go till the end, no matter the cost, no matter the circumstances, no matter how hard it is. I will be faithful. This is commitment. And if you want to have a happy marriage, that's what it takes.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.